Now, I want to go back to this idea of not taking things so seriously. Not only because I think it's vitally important for everyone, but because it's such an important thing for myself. So often, I can get so caught up in why things are important and why every decision is the most important decision of my life. Whether or not it's to have another glass of water, or to have peppermint tea, or longevity tea, or to call Gabe, or to call Becky. It's not that big of a deal. And when I say that, I'm speaking to myself because I know this from experience. There's an idea in Hinduism called Leela. And Leela is the divine play. Now, in Hindu philosophy, there's a large distinction made between Prakriti, or Maya, this nature, where everything is changing, everything is an illusion, and Purusha, or the Atman, where things are all the same. Now, I'm not going to get any more into Hindu philosophy or yogic philosophy in this audio blog. I just wanted to mention, because the point is that maybe we can look at our lives as a gift. And what do we do when we get a gift? We celebrate it. We enjoy it. Now, I'm always so fascinated by people who have houses, or, even on a lesser scale, parts of their houses that they can't even enter because they're supposed to be so clean and so prim and so proper. There are movies that I can think of where there was a scene where children would throw a ball, and it was a dirty ball, into the living room, and the living room was totally white and pristine, and the dirty ball would get everywhere, and it was totally ruined, and the parents would freak out because all of their work in this room that they never use was just totally destroyed. And I just think it's so silly, even on a smaller level, of people having furniture in their house that they can't use because it's so valuable they're afraid of touching it. Come on, maybe you have clothes in your wardrobe that you never wear, and you don't wear them because they're just too valuable. You're saving them for such a special occasion. And you know what? You're not allowing yourself to have that occasion because why? You're taking it too seriously. Now, there's so many ways that we can take our lives too seriously. Come on. I'm doing an audio blog right now. I can take my life too seriously, like everything I'm saying is important. And I have to say it with resolve and with a firm, clear, crisp voice and a calm tone so that you can follow me with ease. No, forget it. Maybe I can get wild and scream. Maybe I can make funny, weird noises like. Try it. Make a weird noise. Have a little fun with yourself. You know what? I do that sometimes. Sometimes when I get so locked up in my head that I can't get out of it, instead of trying to think through it and go, why am I so locked up in my head, which you'll never succeed by doing. Come on. If you really think that you're going to get out of being serious using a serious method, well, thank God you're Aurora Boros, because you can eat your own tail. Congratulations. Maybe you can teach us all how to do it too. I've been trying to do it my entire life and I still haven't figured it out. Really, you just chase it and you spiral a lot and you loop. And I've talked about looping before, and you don't want to do it because it takes you nowhere and it just wastes your time. And you could be doing so many more valuable things, like beating your head with a hammer or bashing your head against the wall. Aren't those great? Yeah, no. Instead, lighten up a little bit. Come on. And sometimes you could be in such a dark, heavy state that you can't even imagine making a joke. And you know what? You don't have to make a joke, because if you're like me, you're not even funny. So don't even try to make a joke. Just make a weird noise, because sometimes that's funny enough. I know my brother, one of the things he does in order to get me out of something is he goes, yip, 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 yip. Yip, 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 yip. Try the yip, 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 yip method. I think it's literally impossible to not start feeling good if you're going Yip, 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 yip. Try it. Try it right now. Yip, 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 yip. Just try anything. Just get a release. You got to get that energy flowing out of you. The problem is serious energy is just a blockage. I said it in the last post. It is a density, and density develops disease. And we don't want that. And disease in any form. It could be physical, it could be emotional. There is emotional disease. Depression and anxiety is emotional disease. Even sadness is emotional dis-ease. Being uneasy, uncomfortable, states we don't want to be in because we want to be happy and comfortable all the time, because that allows us to live the full expression of ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times that you have to be serious. Yes, get me very wrong. There is no time that you have to be serious. When? Even at the funeral of your best friend, you don't have to be serious. Would they want you to be serious, or would they want you to celebrate their life? We get so caught up in these rituals in our society, like, for example, sitting in a classroom, shutting your mouth, doing your work, doing what you're told to, listening to your parents, listening to your teachers. It doesn't matter what it is. We just get caught up in it. But you know what's funny? Take a look at some of your heroes. Take a look at some of the greatest men and women of history. What is one thing that sets them apart? There are many things, but relating to our conversation. Well, the one thing, to throw you a little cheap shot, is they were able to do something that nobody or very few other people were able to do. And that's broad, but the point is that how do they do it? And sometimes they're extremely talented. That's true. Sometimes they have God-given talent, in which case there's nothing to do about that. But you know what? Most of the time, they're pushing themselves beyond the threshold that other people can even step up to. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. I say it to people all the time. He did so many bicep curls, he would vomit. Can you even imagine that? To be at the place where you can do that many bicep curls that you would vomit? I do enough that my arms get tired. I couldn't even bring myself to that level. And you might think that he takes things seriously, and maybe he does take things seriously. And I'm going to have to cut it off here, but join me for part 2 of this addendum.